Yo folks, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about upcoming gacha for October with one NSFW title and a better month than September with a bunch of cool stuff. Gacha games, mobile titles, and games coming to October and more. Also, channel sponsor with Gamer Supps is now on board. More about them at the end. Let's jump right into this. First things is Clover, an X-rated game. I would scroll further down, but just note there's a lot of sussy stuff happening down there. This is going to be a strategy RPG. I believe it's going to be published by Nutaku. I have no idea who the devs are. Just note, it's going to be kind of interesting because it's brought to you by Nutaku. It's the NSFW title if you don't know. And yeah, it looks like a good time. As far as the gameplay goes, it seems rather simplistic from the trailers that I've been seeing. But hey, if you want something a little bit different, check this one out. Coming out October 4th. Then we have Undecember worldwide releases October 12th, demos available October 3rd. If you're wondering what is the gameplay going to be like, have you played Lost Ark? Have you played Diablo Immortal? Have you played any top-down action RPG? That is what Undecember is supposed to be. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I have no idea. That's up to personal preference and taste. There seems to be a class selection sort of thing going on here, so there's going to be a bunch of different things that you can play as, whether it's going to be as like a warrior style, an assassin, or a bow person, whatever, archer. All that you need to know is that this had 3 million preregs. It was held in high regard in KR. It's brought to you by Line Games, the people who gives you like the chat apps in the Asia regions. It's going to be a pretty good game, in my opinion, just based off of visuals and the things that has it hyped from the KR news. So let's see how it goes. October 12th for the full release. Then we have Shironeko Golf launching late October. Why am I talking about this JP title? Mostly because Shironeko is a pretty high regarded franchise or series within the JP regions, and there's not really a good golf game, so hopefully there's some polish and quality in this one. If not, it's just going to be technically an IP cash grab. So we'll see. It'll be either good or bad, right? Then we have ReZero Infinity launching for mobile on October 13th. I know this is going to be a JP title. If you're wondering what is the gameplay going to be like, it's going to be a 3D turn-based RPG. And it's going to be something similar to the Slime Isekai series. So if you've played anything like a turn-based RPG, you're going to be very familiar. Why am I talking about this? Because I love ReZero, I love the anime, and if they do it justice with the turn-based RPG mechanics, it's going to be pretty good. If not, maybe play like the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration with the ReZero stuff, if that is still occurring. Next up, we have Marvel Snap. This is set to release October 18th. So if you've been keen to play some Marvel games, I believe this one's going to be pretty high quality. Why is that? Because the devs who are making this game are pretty passionate about it. And not to mention the graphical style looks like Hearthstone. If you've played Hearthstone, it's a very deep and historical game as far as like a bunch of drama goes. But regardless, it's a pretty decent game for a card collector, and I think Marvel Snap is trying to capture that energy with the Marvel series that it has on deck. So looking forward to the polish that it brings to the card collecting genre in the mobile fronts. Then we have Memento Mori. This is also set to release October 18th. And just know with this one, it's going to be your AFK idle game. The things that's beloved about it is the soundtracks and the fact that the waifus look really pristine in this one. And it also has like that dark Sinnoh Alice feel to it. So if you like that more gritty, grungy style, then maybe you can play Memento Mori. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it was supposed to release in September, and now it's here, October 18th. And it doesn't get changed again because that would be really cool. Then we have Torchlight Infinite set to release October 12th, 2022. The only difference with this release and the others is this is going to be the open beta. There's no wipes whatsoever. This is a permanent server. So now you get to finally play this game in all its glory. There's going to be an upgraded trade house, hero traits are going to be a thing, and not to mention there's going to be a free track on the season pass. So they're fixing a lot of the feedback that they got over the closed betas, which I think is a pretty good nod to the fact that they understood they needed to fix some things with the Torchlight Infinite game. And I think that speaks volumes compared to Diablo Immortal. That hasn't had much change whatsoever, regardless of the player feedback, regardless of like the pay to win mechanics. So I'm really looking forward to Torchlight Infinite's launch going to October 18th, specifically for its open beta with the permanent feature to it. Then we have Tower of God Mobile. Now, the only thing with this one, great journey by the way, that's the other parts of this title, its pre-registrations is going to be happening in October. So I don't know if it's actually going to be releasing in October, but all you need to know is that the Tower of God Great Journey series is going to be an AFK idle game, and I would rather play Heroes Contrary in my opinion because I'm not usually a fan of AFK idle games. I tried it out in the KR version. It didn't really surprise me, but as far as it goes, if it does well in global, it does well. Just put it on your radar in case you guys like the look of this. Then we also have Unhappy Racoon, a brand new action roguelike set to release in October. I'm not sure of the exact dates for this one, just note that you're going to be able to play sometime soon. Roguelike, all that means is every single stage you're going to be able to select a different upgrade, and when you die the game entirely resets, but there's going to be some features where you can upgrade, you know, little tidbits of like maybe like your health or your attack in this way, this, that, and the third, right? And you know, if you like that sort of resetting progress feel where there's unlimited capabilities, unlimited replayability, that's the thing with roguelikes, then maybe you'll like Unhappy Racoon. And I've been seeing a lot of roguelikes appearing on the gacha fronts or just mobile games, so hopefully this leads to something cool in the end. Then we have Panilla Saga, a retro idle RPG on October 26th. Just know with this one, I'm not really looking forward to it because idle game won, but most of all, the UI is very generic. That's the biggest warning to me, where a game, I do not touch them. If I review them, it's usually because I like the waifus, and that's pretty much it. And I play them for less than a week and I drop it on its head because I'm like, why did I play this again? Oh yeah, boredom. But yeah, Panilla Saga, October 26th, if you want something with waifus, but really, don't play it, I'm being serious. Then we have closed betas rolling around. First up, we have Aether Gazer, closed beta, dates confirmed October 11th through October 20th. All that you guys need to know is that this is going to be an action RPG that's similar to something like Punishing Gray Raven or Honkai Impact Third. If you liked any of those games, then this is going to be something for you. I think the character switching mechanics are going to be a little bit different because from what I saw, you can only control one character at a time, but I believe there's like combinations on how you cast the skills and whatnot. I didn't get into the closed beta, but I know a few of you did, like people like Chaotic, maybe FG, maybe Scion. But I'm looking forward to everyone's thoughts on how this is going to be received because this is the first time I'll be seeing like actual global content creators and people's giving their opinions on this one. So yeah, I'm just really curious about this one at the end of the day. Then we have Girls Frontline having its closed beta signups from September 29th through October 8th. Whether this is actually going to be having a CBTs in October or maybe November, I'm not entirely sure. But there's 970k preregs. The expected release date for this one is November 21st based off of the iOS expected release dates. Just note this is going to be an auto chess style game, so you place your characters before letting them fight automatically, but you can also control when and which skills are used during that time frames. And there's also husbandos in this, and no, you don't need to know any Girls Frontline lore in order to play the Girls Frontline Neural Cloud series. And this is brought to you by u/Frost Imperium, so huge thank yous to them for that write-up. Then we have Takt OP getting an announcement for its closed betas. Just note, this game is not set to release until 2023, but if I were to break down the trailer that we are looking at, it sort of reminds me of FGO with better graphics, which is a lot of games, right? But I think that what's a little bit different with Takt OP is of course the fact that its anime is beautiful, has a really phenomenal soundtrack, and the waifus in this, they just look really HD and highly polished. Like, the fact that there's so many details in their eyes and I could stare at them forever, that should speak volumes as to how much attention and how much detail they actually poured into this game. And usually the smaller the details, the more little efforts you make on those just really like nonsensical things, the better the game is 9 times out of 10. So if this comes out to be a highly polished like mobile game, I'm really looking forward to it. There's also going to be 3D aspects to this game, so I find that kind of interesting, mixing 2D with 3D. Hopefully it's not all 3D because usually I don't like that, to be honest, but mixes are really good. Looking forward to this, hopefully releasing sometime in 2023 rather than later. Then we have upcoming gacha and stuff that I'm watching out for. First up, we have Blue Lock, that's going to be a soccer training sim set for mobile this winter. I don't really think it's going to be happening this winter because that's too short in a dev cycle for it to be an actually polished game. If not, I see this as a soccer sim that's going to be an idle AFK light, and they're just milking the anime series. I'll be honest with you guys, alright? This is just the truth. But I like the Blue Lock. Hopefully it's as good as Haikyuu, my favorite sports anime. Next up, we have Immortals Muv getting a delay till spring of 2023. If you're wondering what is the Immortals Muv series, it's going to be your mecha style top-down action RPG. In case you guys wanted something like that, I personally did, specifically because it also has like that Dynasty Warrior sort of feel to it. I don't like the fact that you don't really get to see waifus and it's just the robots, but hey, you get to see their faces. More to come on this 2023 on my watch list, right? Then we have Honkai Star Rail news, the world tour. First things you guys need to know is the Brazil game show is going to be happening October 6th through October 12th. And then the Thailand game show is going to be happening October 21st through October 23rd. Last time we talked about Honkai Star Rail, Tokyo Game Show is happening, I believe. And there was a drop of a new trailer and some new characters. So hopefully with both of these game shows or game conventions, whatever you want to call them, there's going to be new information, new characters, or hopefully at least something new, not repeats of trailers. Any information on Honkai Star Rail, I'm looking forward to, so get ready for those. And then we also have the Nikke Goddess of Victory news. First up, 2 million pre-registrations has now been hit. We didn't think 3 million could be hit, but 2 million was hit within 2 months, so 3 months is looking ever so close to having 3 million in my opinion. Expected release date's November 1st, 2022. I think they're going to delay that date unless we hit 3 million. So if we somehow hit the 3 million before November 1st, I think we're going to actually get the release on November. If not, I think it might be pushed December. Who knows? There's also the Nikke fan art that's still happening since September 8th. So that's been ongoing, competition for about a month. I think they're doing everything they can to get as many eyes on the Nikke Goddess of Victory news, specifically this fan art because fan art's been really keen. Next up, we have Limbus Company that's set to release on iOS, Android, PC in winter of 2022. What you guys need to know about Limbus Company, it's a turn-based action puzzle game. Not to mention it's gonna have matching sins which will cause resonations, deals damage to enemies, or cause different effects from buffing and healing. When you connect 3 or more sins of the same type and attribute, you get a complete resonance which deals additional damage. Also, be careful as enemies immediately counterattack. Abnormalities are the bosses, which will have body parts. Game presentation is sheer fluidity of its combat, make it flow very naturally. After some exposure to the game, the UI had immediate feedback on certain actions and also on auto mode. That was brought to you by QApp. Just know Limbus Company is pretty hype and I'm looking forward to it, hopefully in December. And then we have the Black Clover news. This is going to be some light stuff. All they've been doing is teasing out new trailers and new characters. To be honest with you, I hope it releases in 2022, but the marketing campaign doesn't really lean towards it releasing in November, December. I think it's going to be releasing in 2023, but hey, if it hits its pre-registration goals, which I have no idea what it is, I hope it's just as good as the Full Metal Alchemist JP game that recently launched. Because if it's anything like that, that polish was insane on Full Metal Alchemist, because I could play that game without knowing any hiragana, katakana whatsoever. Black Clover, do the same thing. I'll definitely play it and give my first impressions, and look forward to the global release, hopefully sometime soon. Next up, we have Netflix games with SpongeBob, Narcos, and an Untitled game. Netflix is doing its rounds with releasing a bunch of mobile games. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not entirely sure. If Netflix can provide me a Cyberpunk Edge Runners gacha game, I would really love that. Of course, they'd have to work something out with CD Projekt Red, but anything with more Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I really love it. Netflix definitely has some decent anime when it comes to that. Finally, we'll do the roundup news with lists and stuff. First up, App Media. This is the list for October. We talked about the Racoons, the ReZero Infinities, Memento Moris, Marvel Snap, Shironeko Golf, Torchlight Infinite. We didn't talk about the Genso Desenso game or Gensu Densetsu, and then the Lost Dawn game, which is also supposed to be released late October. Then there's also the Monster Musume Tower Defense, Lost Dawn, and Mafia Connect. And then E.T.E Chronicle Milster Raiders. The only thing I know about E.T.E Chronicle is that it's supposed to be an Azure looking style game where there's gonna be, or maybe just like a mech waifu game is the best description. But outside of that, I think it's gonna be really cool. I don't think it's gonna release on October, to be honest. And huge thank yous to you/BrainSmoker for the upcoming global gacha game list. First up, we have, the Legend Clover, which we talked about, Torchlight Infinite, Memento Mori, Panilla Saga, and Path to Nowhere. Apparently that's releasing October 27th. If that actually happens, that's really cool because it's supposed to be a pretty decent Arknights competitor. I think it's a little bit different. Some people are saying it's not a tower defense, it's more of a strategy RPG because you get to move units as you're flowing through the battle. Regardless of the fact, the gameplay was pretty good, the waifus is pretty amazing, the UI was legit, and I'm looking forward to Path of Nowhere, hopefully releasing with decent quality during those time frames. Then we also have Nikke Goddess of Victory November 1st and Nueral Cloud November 21st, Q4 for Aether Gazer, and a bunch of stuff that's been out. Next up, Preregister is the things, Path to Nowhere, Nueral Cloud, Aether Gazer, Naraka Blade Point, that's going to be a good one. Wuthering Waves, the gameplay trailer, that 8-minute one from TGS was sick. Black Clover Mobile, Nikke Honkai Star Rail. Projects No, I haven't heard too much news about it as of late. Mech Attack, it looks good, based off of the thumbnail. Then we have Project CPW, pointing out games that I think looks interesting. Ethereal Restart was looking really nice. Eversoul, that one's gonna be brought to you by Cacao Games. We got Thrud, Blade of God 2, Dead 4 Returns, Anno Mutation, E.T.E Chronicle, we talked about it. I wish we covered more of 7 Deadly Sins, but I saw no news of that one as of late. There's been no news of Girls Frontline 2 Exile, which I know people are looking forward to. And then there's no news of, the Arknights Ensfield. That was like the last one that I've been looking forward to. And Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. I could probably go on this list forever, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Phantom Parade, but no news. This is just a banger list of game announcements as of 2022 because it feels like that's when everything's been happening. And lastly, let's cover the things that are just happening. Hoyoverse having a concert on 2022 October 2nd. So if you like some Genshin music and not to mention some free primos, check it out. Not to mention games I've been playing. It's been Genshin Impact and Princess Connect. That's about it. Those are the 2 games that I've been hardcore at it. I haven't been playing anything else because the schedule does not allot it. Lastly, a quick word from our sponsor, GamerSupps. So, I'm hypersensitive to caffeine, never drink coffee or any energy type drink whatsoever. GamerSupps though has a caffeine-free, 0 calorie, 0 carb, keto-free, 0 sugars, no fillers, and nootropics, giving me the best feeling before gaming, recording, or working out. I get that from Emotional Damage and their other drinks that are caffeine-free. I love them. I know this is not a workout supplement, but it's been something I've been taking regularly and it makes me feel really good. It's all been upsides and I've been taking it for the past couple of months. I wanted to try it out before I talk about it and, recommend it to anyone. And I've been really keen on working out and focusing on my diet because this is something really important to me. And GamerSupps has been pretty helpful in just keeping me going on that stuff. So if you use code BORK at the end of your purchase, BORK, then you can get, 10% off your purchase. It really supports me and the channel. And yeah, that's really awesome. Thank you so much if you decide to do that or just for watching today's video. That is really stellar review. Yeah, we have webcam stuff. I don't know if we'll keep it. Just let me know in the comments if you like it. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see my face. Once we have 40,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day. See ya.